are going to look at a piece called Baptism of Christ. This is a mosaic piece in a dome ceiling created in the 5th century in Ravenna. This mosaic has a great capture of Christ when he got baptized and is therefore highly symbolic. I would like to zoom in to some details and talk about some of the symbols. First of all, Jesus and John. At the center of the dome is the scene of the baptism of Christ, symbolizing Christ's victory over death, with the golden background symbolizing a heavenly atmosphere. This artwork includes 3 characters, but for now, we will focus on John and Jesus. At the center, the nude Christ is immersed in the water of the Jordan, young and beardless, symbolizing his purity. John the Baptist on the left, however, stands on the stone inland, symbolizing the hardships of life in the desert, as well as his fear and hesitance to baptize the Son of God. The dove descends with blasts of light, symbolizing the Holy Spirit on the head of Christ. Now, we will look at the 3rd character in this piece. On the left, the 3rd figure is of his lower body covered with a green cloth. According to the book Early Christian Art, this character, which is not common to modern Christians' beliefs, symbolizes the deity of the Jordan River. He leans against a spilled jar from whose mouth flows the water, representing the elements of aquatic life. Here we see the clear mixture of Christian and pagan beliefs. In conclusion, because it is in the center of the dome, people have to look up as if to heaven. This gives it a powerful presence which suggests the supremacy of God and human significance in comparison.
We're looking at a stone sculpture created around 250 to 280 AD, representing Cybele, a fertility goddess originating from Katak-Hoyuk, a Neolithic city in Turkey around 6000 BC. It was around 200 BC when Cybele's popularity finally spread to Greece and Rome, where she was associated with Demeter, the Greek goddess of fruitfulness. Here we can see what is thought to be the earliest representation of Cybele in contrast to the Roman sculpture. Take note how the Romans adapted her to fit their culture stylistically. In Greek and Roman mythology, Cybele personified Mother Earth and was worshipped as the great mother of all the gods. It is she who represents the power of nature and the powers of fertility. She is envisioned as the force which gives birth to all things and which governs all of the creatures of the world. Cybele represents nature personified and made divine. The Great Mountain Mother is one of her names in association to her ways with nature, and explains where we get the term Mother Nature today. The crown she wears is shaped like a city, which represents how she protects the city, towns, and its people from invaders and war. She is also often portrayed to be holding a tambourine, denoting her passion for singing and dancing. Tame lions are often depicted by her side as well, which may symbolize great power that can be easily controlled. According to myth, Cybele discovered that her lover, Attis, was unfaithful and in her anger made him go mad so that he mutilated himself under a pine tree. He bled to death as a result, but Cybele regretted what she had done and mourned over him. As consolation, Zeus promised her that the pine tree at which he died would remain sacred forever. The Romans began to celebrate Cybele in 204 BC, when Hannibal was close to conquering the city. It is said that Cybele stepped in to protect them, and Hannibal's army was destroyed. As a result, the temple for Cybele was built in Palatine Hill in Rome, and her religion quickly spread throughout the empire. Consequently, for the next 500 years, she was one of the most popular religions in the known world. During the Roman Empire, Followers of Cybele held an annual spring festival dedicated to the goddess. The ceremonies involved cutting down a pine tree that represented the dead Attis, wrapping it in bandages, and taking it to Cybele's shrine. There they would decorate it with violets, which they considered to have sprung from Attis' blood. Priests would cut their arms, and then they'd dance to the music of cymbals, drums, and flutes. During these wild ceremonies, some followers even mutilated themselves by castration, as Attis had. Today, however, such behavior is no longer prevalent.